Good morning, guys. Or whenever you watch this. Good afternoon, and good evening, and good night. Uh, I wanted to do a New Moon in Gemini read, because that's what we just have yesterday. New Moon in Gemini. So, I've just been super, New Moon energy gives me a lot of heavy energy, or it just makes me really tired, I've noticed. So I wanted to do it yesterday on the actual new moon, but we're still in new moon energy. Anytime it's been a full or anything to do with the moon, the energy is still present before and after it occurs. So I think we can get something here, because I did a pre-pull, starting a little Palo Santo to call in some sweet spirits, some divine energy here to guide us through this message. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I did a pre-pull from the Witching Hour deck, because I felt like that was appropriate, since this deck is based on the moon cycle. And this time I wanted to do a different one. 3. I always like to do 3. 3 is a master number, and the reason I do everything in threes is representative of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So I know that may shock some people, but anyway, we're not gonna get into stuff like that on this. Okay, so we're doing physical state, emotional state, and spiritual state, and then we're gonna pull some tarot as well on the energy and stuff. So for the physical state, we got number 16, restless energy, and I know I mentioned it in a past one of my most recent reads, that I had been feeling a lot of anxious or restless energy of lately, and wasn't really sure if it was mine or other people's, because I am an energetic sponge, so I do absorb. I don't not only pick up on it, but I absorb it, and so sometimes that makes me unaware of whether I've absorbed someone else's energy or if it's my own. So that, that puts me in a constant, I'm constantly checking myself, and I have to constantly check myself. But sometimes if that slips my mind, then I can let things get me down or get me all wound up or whatever it is, So that's why I just also want to say, around the moon cycles, I would really encourage you to do cleansings, cleanse your house, sage, smudge, and take spiritual baths. Pray for purification and for God to cleanse you of any negative, parasitic, any spirit that is not of the light, that is not your own, to leave you while you're taking your bath or spiritual shower. And I would really encourage you do that, because energy can get crazy and heavy and thick around new moons and full moons, and I've noticed that myself. And I do have my own rituals that I've created for myself, for what works for me and my home. Not to do anything other than cleanse, protect, and ward. So my soul is already cleansed, protected, and warded. I also have to do that in the physical. So if anyone's wondering why a Christian or someone who believes in Christ, someone with Christ consciousness, would need to do physical things like that, because I am highly sensitive to energy, and it's a thing, whether anybody believes in it or not. And so I feel like that's going to be true for other people. And it just makes sense. If you do things spiritually, you do them physically. If you do them physically, you do them spiritually. It just backs up whatever it is that you're trying to do or the intentions you have set. And because we are made up of physical, emotional, and spiritual stuff. So why wouldn't we cleanse and protect all aspects of ourselves and our lives? Okay, restless energy. This is a mead moon, waxing moon, and the maiden. The waxing mead moon represents all the restless energy that lies deep in the heart of the maiden face of the goddess. The mead moon maiden is pictured here, glowing with the charged energy pulled from the earth, surrounding her body. How appropriate that this is the physical. She is filling herself with mead, the god's elixir. Drawing this card is a good sign that it is time to take that restless energy that is within yourself and use it towards a purpose or goal. What is making you unsettled? Perhaps it is a result of anxiety or boredom. Where can you focus that power and be more productive? Creating something is more efficient. A more efficient use of your bundle of energy and can make you feel accomplished. Time to take that restlessness and direct it. Okay, so that answers my question as to where that restless energy was coming from. For me right now, I feel like I'm jumping timelines kind of, or stepping into a new timeline, whatever you want to call it. Start having a new beginning in ways and areas, certain areas of my life. So I think that's where that restless energy is coming from. And I'm being told, because I asked, my intentions when I set for these reads are always for me and the collective. So this is for you guys too. But if you're experiencing any restless energy, like I have been, it is time for us to direct that energy, focus it at one location. And it needs to be something that fuels us, that feeds our soul, something we have passion for. Even directing it at ourselves would be good. I know it's really hard for some people to do that. And I had a experience recently with a close relative where I had to see like myself in that person and realize, man, you can get to a point where you don't think you deserve any time for yourself, or that you don't deserve the good things that you feel like other people deserve. And then to have to act on it and actually show and do things for yourself and show yourself that you're just as important as all the people in your life that you spend a lot of time and energy on. It's hard. I've realized, I mean, it was hard for me too, but like, it's hard when you're like that, when you are a people pleaser, when you have been a highly empathetic your whole life, feeling like everyone else deserved to be happy and everything just as much as you did, and you did everything within your power to make that happen for other people. But there's a harm in that, because then we don't have boundaries. But I mean, if we can still do those things for people, and I don't want to be a completely selfish person. However, I do not feel like focusing your time, energy, and attention on the things that you need to do to keep yourself balanced, healthy, and secure. That's not bad. But there are people around you that will make you think that. And it's so silly to me. Like, why wouldn't I be paying attention to what I need to be paying attention to? Why wouldn't I be focusing my time, energy, and love, and the extra energy I have outside of work on me and my household and my home? This is why would I focus that a little bit of time after, society and the Matrix take 40 hours a week from us, what time is left? And I'm supposed to spend all of that, like, focusing it on other people? That doesn't make any sense. Because then I would be completely drained. So, that's our physical aspect. And let's just take a break here. I'm going to do it this way this time. I don't know why, but I am. So, I feel like I do need to do it a certain way, so I do it. Okay. For the restless physical energy, we got conflict, disagreement, competition, defeat, winning at all costs. Sneakiness, bully, theft, abusive relationships. Goodness gracious. Is this why? The Five of Swords, is this why? Yes. This is Aquarius energy. So we could, if you're like me, I am still trying to get out of this kind of stuff. But see, when you don't realize who you've surrounded yourself with, people will, people that are not of the light, they don't like you if you are. And that's the nicest, easiest way to say it. If someone does not have a pure spirit, or a compassionate heart, or love for humanity, or even knows what the definition of love means, like, there are some dark people in this world. Believe it or not, they seem like they care. They make you think they care. They want you to believe they care. But when it comes down to it, they will sell you out, turn their back on you, abandon you, betray you for a piece of silver. And I don't mean that like technically exactly. They could it's just an illustration from the Bible, what Judas did to Jesus. But it's very true in our lives too. It's not for a piece of silver these days. It would be for something else. And everybody's situation is going to be different. But when you know that you've been sold out for any reason, I'm not going to get specific because I don't want this directed at any certain person. But it's amazing what people who tell you they love you, wear the mask for years, make you think that they're your, they got your back, they're your homie, whatever, and then, one little temptation comes along, or an addiction takes over, and they will sell you for a piece of silver, or some drugs, or some other person, or like anything of the flesh. Money. I mean, it's, people will kill you just to rob you because they're crazy. Okay? And I'm just going to say that. But if you've been going through this, if this is where some of your past has been, that's where this restless energy is coming in from too. And this matches also, I also got the Knight of Swords, which is another Aquarius energy. This is ambition, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast-thinking, and defending beliefs. Okay, so this, like, yes, very restless, air, a lot of air energy. But this is the way we're going to get through this physical aspect, is by focusing all that action-oriented, driven to succeed, defending beliefs, where we can harness that energy. And that's another thing. Like, try to... and it can get hard at times, but try to alchemize that energy. If you're, like, sometimes we don't even know we're in conflict with people. Like, they tell us they're one thing and we believe them. And then we treat them like we've always treated them. Like, you know, and then the whole time they hate us or something crazy. So, if you have been experiencing any kind of conflict, knowingly or unknowingly, and people will also put themselves in competition with you sometimes without you knowing that either. And then they'll say something when you're around them, or if something will slip out eventually, God's going to let you know. He's going to make sure they say something or act away or whatever, and you're going to figure it out. And then it's like, damn, I wish you could be yourself and be authentic. Then I would have known that you really didn't like me. Why are you around me then? That's confusing too. Like, just to betray you? Just to try to get something from you? To try to deceive you? To try to play a game with you? What's wrong with that? Like, why? I don't but I'm not like that, so I'm not meant to understand it. And that's where I get caught up a lot of times with this kind of stuff, is I need to understand it logically, and then I'll be okay. But sometimes these people are mentally ill, and I need you guys to understand that. There is no explanation. It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to. Because their behavior doesn't make sense. Right? Which also means it's confusing. And I've said it 1,000 times. Confusion does not come from the Most High God. So if you're around somebody or people or whatever, and you feel confused or like, these people operate in a certain way, okay? They will create disasters around you so that they can deflect your attention away from what you're trying to pay attention to, because you've already got a feeling, you can't leave these people alone for a minute, and then I'd ask you, like, why are they even around you? But sometimes it's out of our control, and I understand that because it happened to me. But they deflect your attention away from, like, your valuables, your home, your car, whatever it is they're trying to take from you. They create all this chaos and noise around you so that you'll center your focus at one of those dramatic psycho scenes that they're performing as a group and distract you so that they can come in the back door and rob you blind. Okay? That's how these demonic entities and people operate. So let this be a warning. Like, confusion and chaos come from the man downstairs. The minute you spot it in your life and people around you creating it, whatever it is that it's taking place, get out immediately. I'm telling you, this is a discerning piece of advice. If any of that energy shows up, or if somebody you're around is constantly afraid and in fear of everything. I'm afraid to be in the woods. I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid to do that. Why are you so afraid? That should be one of your first questions right there. Because fear also comes from the one downstairs. So if they're displaying confusion, trying to cause distractions, and some of them know how to do certain things. Some people do, and they know they're doing it. Some people don't know they're doing it, but people will absolutely, by manipulating, like, start talking to you about something that's going to get you unsettled or riled up, get you emotionally imbalanced. Like, this kind of behavior is going to stop, though. This is ending. Because right behind it, we have the Knight of Swords. Ambition, action oriented. So, and I want to say that too. When we're focused on something positive, Um, like the card, the restless energy card was saying, when we harness that restless energy, and that these people are sending us, or that we have, because we're being treated certain ways and certain things are happening around us. We, if we don't, it's as, your mind is so powerful, people. Okay, focus all your time and energy on one thing, yourself, or many things, yourself, your home, your family. That's what I've been doing. Just by focusing on things that are not of the Five of Swords, that are not these people walking around all the time bullying, mad, trying to cause conflict in your life for no reason. You know, when you just simply don't pay them any mind, and just, that, you're taking all the energy out of that situation. Okay? So, by you thinking that there's some kind of injustice in your life, and or you knowing that there is, okay, but taking that energy that you would put into thinking about that unfair, unjust thing in your life, focusing on something that's going to pay off for you, because that's not going to pay off at all. But if we focus our creativity and our restless energy, our sacral energy, into projects that we like, even, you know, art and things like that, like singer, songwriter, anybody that channels their pain into something that is made beautiful for other people, then you're gonna be blessed for doing that, and it's gonna light up your soul. It's gonna make you feel good. So you're putting all your energy into that, right? So you're not giving these Five of Swords people any of your energy. And that takes all the energy out of the situation. So, you know, there might be conflict like around you. But it's not going to be part of your life, because you're not giving it any time, energy, or focus. Does that make sense? That is how powerful your mind and redirecting your energy can be, and it will pay off for you in the long run. Do not give your time, energy, and focus to things that cannot and do not have a positive outcome for you. That's my advice on that one. All right, now let's move on to emotional state. We got number 26, rest after labor. And you'll see in the art a mom with her baby. And any women out there that have had babies, you know that that's very important. Labor is can be a very trying experience for some of us. Some women have, just have no issues at all. And if that's true for you, then I'm not talking to you. But but those of us who have had labors that did not go that great, but you still had your baby and everything, and you and your baby made it out alive, like, that's the kind of experiences I had. Yeah, this is so important, and this is what we need right now in our emotional state. Okay, this is not just a message for women. I feel like I need to say that. This is a new moon in Gemini reading. So, and it's for everyone in the collective. So I'm not limiting it. I'm just trying to read this new moon energy, and I'm using Oracle and Tarot cards to do it. So, but anyway, anybody, this isn't for Divine Feminines, but anybody who has been going through conflict like this, and been in the past, and you've set boundaries, you're trying to get unhealthy people out of your immediate surroundings and out of your life, and set boundaries with those people, because you can no longer hold them up with your energy, which is basically what you were doing. Then you need rest right now. And that's what the Holy Spirit and God has been telling me the last couple of days. You need to rest. I literally needed to rest yesterday all day, but I had 2 jobs to go to. So, but see, today I'm gonna take it easy, and it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get some rest today. And that's what you're being called to do. I had a wonderful night of sleep last night, one of the best nights I've had in a long time. Okay, for some reason the new moon is like that for me. Alrighty, so this is emotional state. Number 26, rest after labor, is a harvest moon, full moon, mother. This is the mother. Obviously. The full harvest moon is a time of rest after you've harvested the fruits of your labors. Here the mother is napping, laying upon her harvest, with her newborn baby sleeping in her arms. Not only did she bring in the provisions for the winter, but she also labored and brought her child into the world. Amen. And that alone is a lot. It is time to rest after all the hard work you have accomplished. Take a step back, recognize that you did all you can, and enjoy the relaxation you deserve. Sometimes this can refer to a friendship, relationship, or marriage that you have worked so hard to repair. Maybe you have been putting in many hours to meet a deadline at work. Now that the deadline is passed, take some time off. You toiled and sacrificed to finish your project. Now rest. But we're talking about an emotional state here. So, and I've been talking about this in past messages, but I know I've been going through like purges and dreaming about past situations and past places and people and stuff. So this is a time like, and if you're in the collective with me, then you've been doing the same. So now it's time for us to rest after purging our emotional body, like purging from our emotional state, because it doesn't matter if somebody around you is like, they have toxic kind of energy and you can't be around them anymore, or you've noticed their energy more so because there's not a bunch of people, like things start clearing up. I'm just saying it's not easy to let certain people go, or to set boundaries with people, or whatever you're doing. It's hard. It hurts. But it needs to be done so that you can maintain. What is a mother? What is this mother good to her child for if she doesn't get rest too? If she's not given an opportunity to recharge her battery? Like, she's no good to her child. If she doesn't take care of herself and eat the proper foods and restrain herself from things that are not good for her at all, much less while she's breastfeeding a child, what good is she to the child? She's giving the child whatever she's taking in. So if she's not taking in nutritious foods and water and not other things that can be harmful to a baby that's drinking milk that your body is producing, okay? So that's what I mean. It is time to take an emotional rest and a physical rest. So, well, let me get some tarot for that one too. Put this back. Okay, so for rest after labor, what can we get from the tarot about this? What is that? Okay, we got the sun in reverse, which is inner child, feeling down, overly optimistic, negativity, depression, sadness, carelessness, and arrogance. But I'm reading this as the inner child. So it is time for us to take a rest and nurture our inner child. And that would be an emotional thing, right? Sit down today and ask yourself, what would I like to do right now if I was a little kid again? And like, without any restrictions, without a parent sitting there telling you couldn't do it, you couldn't have it, it's too expensive, you can't do that. Think about what you would do and then do that for yourself. And that is nurturing your inner child. Because there are no limitations. God is a limitless God. It says so in the Bible. And we have the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. See, this is what I mean. You're going to rest and heal your emotional body now, and you're only going to nurture and give back to the people who give to you. And that is how you are going to maintain your energy and continue to move forward. All right. Now, for your spiritual body, spiritual state, our spiritual state, we have transform. And we all know what that means. That's the death card in this deck. Snow moon, waxing moon, maiden. The waxing snow moon represents a time for transformation. This maiden is depicted on the card breaking out from a cocoon, transmuted from her past experiences. Her chest bears mastectomy scars, showing beauty and resilience after a traumatizing event in her life. So, yeah, she just had breast, you know what. And I'm not going to say that word because I hate that word. The C word. Okay? And she has transformed. Like, she's free of that. She doesn't have her breasts anymore. She has her mastectomy scars. But she is transformed. That part of her is gone. Transformation. Death and a new beginning. This is the time for a dramatic charge in yourself. Whatever that be, a state of mind or a state of being. Maybe you have become idle in your life without drive or purpose and you need a fresh start. Perhaps you have been allowing a toxic relationship to continue with a friend or partner that you should have ended a while ago. Now is the time to take that step into the unknown and transform into the new you. Okay, so spiritual transformation, guys. If you know anything that's not for your highest and greatest good, it has to go at this time. It can't go with you into your new timeline. Okay? That's like you wanting to run a marathon and having to carry 2 sacks of potatoes over your shoulders. Right? I think people that do those marathons are like, I don't know how they do it, because I know I don't think I'd ever be able to do that. But I know that's limiting, so I can't say that to myself. But I know that people that do run those marathons have got to be, very physically fit and in shape. But how much would it harm them if they were carrying 2 sacks of potatoes? It would slow them down, right? Make them not get there. Maybe. Till way later. And that's not what transformation's about. Okay, so to go with transformation, I got the 7 of Swords, betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, and trickery. So we're transforming from that energy into the Page of Swords and the Tower reversed. Deception, manipulation, all talk, haste, haphazard, action, self-expression. Okay, so we're trading in betrayal and deception and trickery and deception, manipulation. Yeah, all this is getting transformed out. All this stuff right here, it's got to go. There's no room for manipulation and betrayal where you're going. Okay? You've got to let this stuff go spiritually and physically. I know this is the spiritual pull, but I mean, when we do things spiritually, we have to do them physically as well, right? So, and this is personal. Look at that. Confirmation. Personal transformation is what the tower in reverse stands for. So, yeah. So, we're going through a transformation right now. Another level up. We're ascending, and, you know, just like, I'm going to have to reference the story of Noah. Like, you've been telling these people. You've been telling them. You've been trying to help them. You've been trying to help them see clearly. You've been trying to guide them for their soul. Not because you were trying to manipulate them. Not because you were trying to manipulate people around them. Not because you were trying to manipulate their situation. But because you knew the flood was coming. And all you were trying to do was get them out of there. And now it's raining. And the animals are loading on the ark, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. It is time. We are being called to ascend. And not everyone is going to be able to go with us. And that, and I hate that. But, I mean, I've said the Bible is literally a metaphor for our own lives. It is true. It is true. And I feel like I've been picking up on and channeling that energy for a while now. And so for me personally, that's what the imagery in my head is. Like, but you tried. I did. I tried my hardest. But you can lead a horse to water, Taryn, but you can't make him drink. That's what my dad would say if he was here right now. All right. Love you guys. I think this is beautiful energy. We need to rest. We need to go within. Give ourselves some emotional rest too. Physical rest. It's a time of transformation and focusing our restless energy towards a goal that is going to have a positive, beneficial outcome. Do not pour your time, energy, and focus into things that are not of a high vibration. Because at this time, if you do, I don't think it's, I would advise against it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into any details. And then at the bottom of this deck, we have prepare. Yeah, it's a time of preparation. We're stepping into a new timeline. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Negative thoughts. Don't let negative thoughts get you down at this time. It's a time to stay high vibrational. So you need to align your physical, emotional, and spiritual health with things that are going to provide you with a high vibration and help you maintain that frequency. That's the trick lately, guys, is maintaining a frequency. Because yes, we can be alone in solitude and alone with the Most High and get a high frequency, but then we get pulled, we have to go around other people and it gets dragged down. So, we don't want that. Right? All right. Maintain a high vibration. Love you guys. Peace out.